Hello everyone, welcome to the 7th video of Apache Tomcat server series. In this video, we're going to see how you can configure your Apache Tomcat server with Eclipse IDE. As well as we're also going to see how you can do the deployment for your web application with Tomcat server in Eclipse IDE. So like in the previous some of the videos, we have seen how you can do the deployment of your web application, that is Java web application, in hard deployment way and the console deployment way. So in this video, we're going to see how you can do the deployment of your Java web application with Eclipse IDE. That is nothing but the tool-based deployment. So if you are using an Eclipse IDE or an STS IDE, you can follow the same procedure which I'm going to show you in this video to configure your Tomcat server with Eclipse IDE and to deploy your web application in Eclipse IDE. So now coming to the practical part. First thing you need to do is that you need to open your Eclipse IDE. So I'm using the Eclipse 2020-09 version. Okay. So first thing you need to do here is to configure your Apache Tomcat server with your Eclipse IDE. For that, first thing is to click on this Windows option available. Then go to the preferences. Okay. So you're going to find the different options available. From this, you need to select to server and go to the last option available, that is runtime environment. Okay, so here you need to add your server, that is server runtime environment, and the environment we want to add here is your Tomcat server. For this, you need to click on this add button. Then you need to select the Tomcat version you want to add with your Eclipse IDE. So for the Eclipse IDE, that is 2020-09 version, it is not supporting to work with Apache Tomcat 10 server. So if you want to work with a Apache Tomcat server in Eclipse IDE 2020-09, for that you need to use the Apache Tomcat 9. So I have already installed Apache Tomcat 9 in my system. So for this, I'm selecting the Apache Tomcat 9 option, select next. Then here you need to pass the home location of your Apache Tomcat 9 installation folder. For this, I'm going to the Apache Tomcat 9 home folder, going inside, selecting this folder. Okay. So, and last thing is to do is to select your JRE. Okay. So currently I'm using the JDK 11 in my system. So I'm going to select the JDK 11. So if you want, you can select the JDK 1.8. Okay. So after selecting this, click on finish, then apply and close. So this is how you can configure your Apache Tomcat server with your Eclipse IDE. So after doing this, you're going to find this one option here. After configuring your server Tomcat server, the Eclipse IDE is going to create its own instance for your Apache Tomcat server. Okay, so you're going to find server here, and on in this server tab also you're going to find that your server is configured. Now next step is to deploy your web application. Okay, so for this, you need to click on the application which you want to deploy in the web server, that is Apache Tomcat 10, Apache Tomcat 9 server. So I'm right clicking on this, then go to the run as, then go to the run on server. Okay, click on this. So here you're going to find the Apache Tomcat 9 server which I already configured with my system, with my Eclipse IDE. So you can select this. But in case if you are not getting this option, even after configuring your Apache uh, Tomcat 9, so in that condition you need to go to this manual option. Okay, so here you need to select the version you have already configured, then select on next, and okay, so after doing that you will going to be you're going to get this option, this kind of option for the next run. Okay, so as I'm already getting this option, I'm going to select on this next. So the application you want to run, okay, so it will be on the right side. So if there are unnecessary applications, you need to select on them and going to click on this remove option. Okay, so as I'm only having the application which I want to deploy with my Tomcat server. I'm going to say finish. Okay, so in this console window, you're going to see that your Apache Tomcat server is starting. Okay, so server startup is completed. Here you can see. And one more thing is in the server tab, you're also going to find that it is showing that it is started. Okay, so now to check if your web application is successfully deployed in your Apache Tomcat 9 or not. So I am already getting the screen that it means your web application is already deployed. So I'm clicking on this, so it is generating an greeting message. So right now it's like 5:30, so it is showing me good evening message. So for this I have already configured the code. Okay, so you can see here the code. Okay, so this is the code. This is the code I have written in my web application, and the voice message generator logic in the service class. So this is how you can configure your Apache Tomcat server with your Eclipse IDE, and also deploy your web application with Tomcat server in Eclipse IDE. So one more thing I'm going to show you here is how to create the WAR file. Okay, so for this you need to click on this. Okay, so you're going to find the import and export. Okay, so I'm going to select this export and click on this WAR file. Okay, so destination where you want to create your WAR file into. So I'm going to select like this Apache folder, save, and I'm going to say finish. So this is the WAR file name. So finish. Okay, after doing that, let us see if it is successfully deployed or not, which is this location. So in this location, we're going to find this last one, which is greeting generator.war file. So this is how you can create your WAR file also. So in this video, we have seen how you can configure your Apache Tomcat server with your Eclipse IDE, how you can deploy your web application with the Apache Tomcat server in Eclipse IDE, and lastly, how to generate your web application WAR file.